Qui-Gon Jinn was an evil Sith Lord in hiding? What? What? No way. Well, that's the rumor going on right now. I got this over at CBR.com. Star Wars hints that Qui-Gon Jinn was an agent of the dark side. Qui-Gon Jinn is widely considered one of the greatest Jedi Masters of his generation. Wise and just and powerful, he was arguably a true devotee of the Force and its potential for goodness, and he played a significant role in the Jedi Order during the final decades of the Galactic Republic. As well as being a mentor to the distinguished Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jinn was instrumental and dynamic in rescuing Queen Padme Amidala. He also saved young Anakin from the life of servitude. So, this is a really interesting concept that, again, it's not that he was evil, it's not that he was an evil Sith Lord, it was that, he played in and was a agent of the dark side. And there's this question, obviously, it always pops up when it comes to Star Wars. Was this character a gray Jedi? Gray Jedi don't exist. They don't exist. There's no getting around that. You have to look at it as black and white. You have Jedi, pure good. They only focus on Jedi, what they are. And then you have Sith, pure evil. Okay? If you sway from that Jedi, you're no longer a Jedi. If you go towards that middle ground, you're not a Jedi any longer. So you wouldn't be a gray Jedi. You would be a gray Force user. You could be just a Force user. But that's what people don't understand. So gray Jedi, not a thing. So that's annoying. But on here, it says some believers of this opinion need to only point to Jinn's unconventional behavior in Episode 1 and how it contradicts the traditional noble ways of the Jedi. In order to achieve his desired outcome, Jinn is somewhat careless and even immoral. His flippant use of mind tricks, reckless gambling, and manipulation of Watto suggests that he was not afraid to bend the Jedi's preference for truth and selflessness. Some fans have argued that his questionable actions more suit that of a gray Jedi, or worse. Gray Jedi are not real. No. Zip. Zero. Not possible. Exclamation point. Period. Whatever you want to say. Gray Jedi are not real. It's not a thing. Never will be a thing. In Star Wars, gray Jedi are now... No, they're not known for anything. There's no gray Jedi in Star Wars. Right there, this article is just complete poppycock because there's no such thing as a gray Jedi. Gray Jedi are known for their defiance of traditional Jedi means in favor of more independent lives, believing that the ancient Jedi ways are dogmatic and stunted. Like a typical gray Jedi, Jinn was seemingly more of a follower of the Force itself rather than of the Jedi's narrow view of it. You say it right there. Right in that sentence, you say he's more of a follower of the Force. He's a Force user rather than that of a Jedi. He's not a Jedi at that point. He's a Force user. Yes, he was influenced by the Jedi, but he does not follow their ways. Qui-Gon Jinn's ties to the dark side might tell a different story. One has to question if Jinn sensed the fear in Anakin just as the Jedi Council did, and if so, why was he not at all hesitant to have the young boy trained? The general acceptance explanation is that even if Skywalker's future was clouded, Jinn was unwilling to let go of the long-prophesied chosen one out of desperation to finally bring balance back to the Force. In other words, Jinn was willing to take a risk, while the Jedi Council was not. But this is only one point of view. Jinn's strange lack of caution surrounding the dangerous Anakin could indicate that he harbored a hidden allegiance to the dark side, that he purposely brought the young boy into the Jedi fold, knowing full well that they would one day be destroyed by him. While Jinn's hatred of the Jedi might sound like a far-fetched idea to many, it can't be ignored that his entire history is somewhat tainted with the dark side and the Sith. For example, as a Padawan, Jinn was trained for years by Count Dooku, who later became the malevolent Sith Lord Darth Tyrannus. And even when Dooku was still a noble man, he tired of the hypocrisy of the Jedi Order, believing them to have become too steeped in corruption. In Karen Travis's novelization of 2008 Star Wars Clone Wars, Dooku explains that the Jedi have lived with corruption for so long that they now never notice the stench of it. It's entirely possible that Dooku passed such extremely negative beliefs to his apprentice Jinn, whose faith in the Jedi might have been eroded over the years and forced him to find a new path. Additionally, according to the Legends canon, the dark path that Dooku chose was also tread by Jinn's apprentice. The young Xanatos was Qui-Gon's apprentice before Obi-Wan, and he too succumbed to the dark side, becoming a Dark Jedi, meeting a grim fate by suicide. All right, so they're talking a lot about legends here, which we kind of have to throw out, unfortunately. The idea that Qui-Gon Jinn was an agent of the dark side in some form or fashion, I think downplays the impact of Darth Sidious and Palpatine. If you take a look at how Palpatine rose to power, it was by manipulating, it was by getting close with the Jedi. It was by hiding in the shadows, utilizing different Jedi for his ways and different means, and any means necessary, only by revealing his true self to a very few. So the idea that Qui-Gon Jinn was an agent of the dark side, I think is ridiculous. I think this whole article was just a way to try and say, aha, see, there's gray Jedi and there's not. There is no such thing as a gray Jedi. I could go on and on and on about this. There are no gray Jedi in Star Wars. There never has been and there never will be, because it's not possible. You are either fully a Jedi or you're fully a Sith. You can't be a gray Sith. You can't be a gray Jedi. You can be a Force user in the middle, and sure, there could be other sects within that. A gray Jedi makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. Like, think of it like from a religious standpoint in the real world. If you're a Christian, you're a Christian. You practice those beliefs. You believe in Jesus Christ as being the Savior. You believe he died and rose again. That is what being a Christian is about. You can't be a Christian if you say, you know what, I believe Jesus, died. I don't think he rose again. Yeah, I guess he could be our Savior, but yeah, maybe. No, that doesn't make me a gray Christian. That makes me, I'm not a Christian. If you lose the aspect of which that religion is based off of, the main aspect, if you look past that and look away from that, you are no longer that religion. And there's no other way to say it or simplify it for people. If you are a Jedi, you believe in the way of the Jedi, you stray from that belief, you're no longer a Jedi. You're not a gray Jedi, you're a Force. That's simple. This idea that Qui-Gon was an agent of the dark side, I mean, everybody was an agent of the dark side at that time. In some form or fashion, everybody was manipulated. Everybody was set on a path because of what Darth Plagueis, what Palpatine, what they were doing, Count Dooku, Darth Maul, they were all playing this game, and the Jedi, because they got so full of themselves, missed it. And because they missed it, you get what happened in the Skywalker saga. Let me know your thoughts on all this. I think it's really, really interesting. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think about this whole thing. Was Qui-Gon a agent of the dark side? All that jazz. But let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.